Hi, my name is Dedrick Slosher, and I did my case study on the Iroquois Theater Fire. Here is a little background. The Iroquois Theater was designed to be fireproof completely. It had 30 exit doors that the exit doors were designed to exit within 5 minutes in case that there was a fire to happen. The Iroquois Fire Theater was in Chicago, and during that time, there was a very famous play going on called Mr. Bluebird Musical, starred Eddie Foy. This musical was very famous during that time, and lots of people were rushing to the box offices to go watch this musical. The theater could fit up to 1,700 people. Uh, this theater was designed to be very beautiful inside and outside. It was mostly made of wood all over the place and drapes everywhere. On December 30th, 1903 is when the fire was in the theater, and it was in the afternoon. What went wrong? The fire chief during that time was Eddie Laughlin. Eddie Laughlin was the guy that would go around and check everything to make sure that everything met up to fire code. Eddie Laughlin got bought out to say that everything was okay, that everything met up to fire code, but it did not because the vents were drilled shut. They didn't have all the emergency exit signs up. They actually covered them up with drapes to make it more beautiful and attract people into the theater. The exit doors and every door opened up inwardly, and they locked them during the performance also to prevent people from going into the upper class levels. During the musical, a calcium stage, the calcium stage light ignited the drape and caught on fire. They tried to slow it down, but it started to spread faster. So people in the crowd started to be worrisome and started to rush out of the building, but the doors were locked for them to leave. So as the fire started to spread faster and move around the entire theater, because things were catching on fire, because everything was very flammable and it was wood, that the the fire started to kill people, and it was turning into a bigger mess than it needed to be considering it to be a very fireproof building. As they finally got the door to open up after people were rushing through and trampling people to death, the rush of the air came through and created an explosion. So when convection is the transfer of heat, so by the physical movement of hot masses of air. So when the air came through, it rushed so fast, made an explosion, turned out the entire power, um, and also killed many people on the higher levels. The fire killed over 600 people. They broke fire code, and there was way too many people in the theater, over 1,700 people. Prevention. To follow the fire code. They did not follow the fire code. The fire chief decided to take the cash over making sure the safety for the people in the theater was kept. Have a better understanding of what fire does in theaters. Seemed like they lacked the knowledge to understand it, or maybe they just didn't really care, and that shows because of how many people died because of this theater fire. To make it safe to exit, they did not make it safe to exit. They covered up the signs for people to exit. Also, the fire exits, they need to make them bright and clear. Alarm box needs to be close by, and make sure that they have the emergency exits bright, and the smoke vents actually working and not under construction and drilled shut, and having fire hooks to slow down fires during the fire of the drape, because the drape was what started the fire. All right, thank you so much, and I hope you really enjoyed this presentation.